Hello everybody, Leon here, and welcome back to another mathematics video. In this video, we will be looking at the trigonometric rules, specifically the sine rule. And at the end of this video, you should be able to use the sine rule to find for missing sides and missing angles. So let's head into the trigonometric rules. So we use trig rules when we want to find missing sides and missing angles, but the triangles are not right angle triangles. Earlier we learned how to find for right angle. So for the trig rules or the trigonometric rules, we use them when we have a non-right angle triangle. It can be an equilateral triangle, it can be a scalene triangle. As long as it is not a right angle triangle, then these rules will apply. And we know if it's a right angle, we use the trigonometric ratios. So there are two trig rules, the sine rule and the cosine rule. And for this video, we'll be looking at the sine rule. So when to use the sine rule? So we use the sine rule, let's say we have a missing side, we want to find a missing side, when we are given two angles and one side. So if we know two angles on one side and we want to find the other side, then we can use the sine rule. Or if you want to find a missing angle, we must be given two sides and an angle, and it must not be enclosed by the sides. So let's say we have a triangle like this and we want to find a missing angle. Let's say we're given this angle as 50 degrees, then the angle that we can find with the sine rule would be this angle here, would be this missing angle. We cannot use it to find this angle because we don't know this side. So let's look at some examples of how we can apply and how we can use the sine rule. So first of all, what exactly is the sine rule? So the sine rule says A over sine A is equal to B over sine B is equal to C over sine C. And of course, we will use them in pairs. We don't use all three at once. We just use them in pairs. So we can have A over sine A is equal to B over sine B, or we can have B over sine B is equal to C over sine C, or we can have A over sine B is equal to C over sine C. So as you can see, we have common letters and capital letters. And we want to know what is the difference between the common letter and the capital letter. So the common letters, they represent the sides. So we have C, A, and B, they represent the length of the sides. Versus the capital letters that represent the angle. So we have the capital letters here at the different angles. So how do we determine which letter is which? Now, first of all, let's say you're given a triangle ABC. The side opposite angle A would be common A. The side opposite angle B would be common B. And the side opposite angle C would be common C. Just to cement this fact, let's say we're given another triangle. And let's say X, Y, Z. The side opposite Z would be common Z. The side opposite Y would be common Y. And the side opposite X would be considered as common X. And that is how you label when we want to use a trig rule or any other related topics. The side is given the common for the angle opposite of it. So now that we have an idea what is the sine rule, let's look at an example. So we have calculated the length of AB correct to 2 decimal places. So you want to find the length of AB. So first of all, AB would be AB, so it would be this line here would be AB. So that's the line that we want to find. So let's label our triangle. So we have A here. So opposite that would be common A. We have C here. Opposite that would be common C. And we have B here. So opposite that would be common B. So we have A, B, C. And we see we are given two angles and we want to find two angles and a side and we want to find the other side. So let's see which combination you're given. So we see we are given angle C and we want to find side C. And we're given angle A and side A. So we're using A and C. So we can say A over sine A is equal to C over sine C. So we substitute our values that we know. So we know A would be equal to 6.3 over sine A. In this case, angle A would be 42. That is equal to C, which is the thing that we want to find, over sine C, which is 55. And then just like in the previous example, we cross multiply. So we multiply the 6.3 by the sine 55. So 6.3 multiplied by sine 55 is equal to C multiplied by, we multiplied by the sine 42. Sine 42. And then to solve for C, we see the sign for the 2 is multiplying, so when you take it over the equal sign, it will divide. So we'll have 6.3 times sine 55, don't work it out as yet, all divided by sine 42, and that is equal to C. And now to solve for C, we just put in all of this in our calculator. So we'll have 6.3 multiplied by sine 55 is equal to, and we divide that answer now by sine 42. So we'll end up with a value of C being equal to 7.71248. And to round this off correct to 2 decimal place, we see C would be equal to 7.71. So you can say AB is equal to 7.71 cm. And that is the answer for that question. So let's look at another example, final example. So this one says, work out the length of BC correct to 3 significant figures. We'll give you answer to 3 significant figures. So you want to find BC. So we see B is here, C is here, so BC would be this line here. So let's label. So we see A is here, so opposite A would be A, common A. C is here, opposite C would be common C. And B is here, opposite B would be common B. Alright, so we let's look at what we have. So we have C and side C, and we have angle A, and we want to find side A. So we use A and C. So we can say A over sine A is equal to C over sine C. So we see A would be the thing that we want to find. A over sine A. A would be 42. That is equal to C, which is 5 over sine C, which is 53. So we have a fraction equal to a fraction. So we cross multiply. So we have A multiplied by sine 53 is equal to 5 multiplied by sine 42. So we want to solve A. So we see the sine 53 is multiplied, and we take it over to divide. A is equal to 5 multiplied by sine 42, all divided by sine 53. Hence A would be equal to, so we use our calculator once again. So 5 multiplied by sine 42 is equal to, and then this answer will be divided by sine 53. So we have our answer being 4.189211. So they want our answer correct to 3 significant figures. So we count 3 numbers. For 3 significant numbers, 1, 2, 3. And we see this number is 9, so we add 1 to the previous number. So we'll have A being equal to 4.19. So we can say therefore BC is equal to 4.19 as the answer. And that is how we answered this question. So this has brought me to the end of this video, but of course before I go, I must leave one question for you to try on your own, to test your understanding of using the sine rule and probably some other rules that we've done in previous videos. So remember one thing, for the sine rule, we must be given 3 out of the 4 unknowns, either 2 angles and a side, 2 suitable angles and a side, or 2 suitable sides and an angle. And in a future video, you'll see what we will do when we are not given 2 suitable sides to use the sine rule. So I trust that you have a good understanding. And remember, your calculator is a powerful tool, so you must know how to use it effectively. So with that, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.